Hello and welcome to the Horror House Podcast. I'm Dave.
I'm Chris.
Jeff.
This week in the Horror House, we are talking about 2012's VHS and probably a bunch of other things that have nothing to do with VHS because that's what we do. That's what we do around here. So
You could say, Chris, we're rewinding back to 2012 for VHS. Got it.
I could have, but I did not. But first,
Missed opportunity.
welcome everybody. Welcome in. Get in here. Get in here. Bring your friends. Bring your parents. Bring your brother and sister and your
All
cousins.
are welcome.
And let's talk about some horror movies and stuff. And as always, people come to us for their news that we get from other places. So, if there's anything you guys want to front load into the show before we get to the news, now's your chance.
I'm going to personally endorse alcoholic Mountain Dew's zero sugar.
You held that R for so long, I thought your internet was going out.
We would never do that, Chris.
I don't endorse Busch Light. I mean, it's fine, but I wish I had something else.
Next one you open, get it real close to the microphone so we can hear it say, "Hush."
Is that how they named that? Holy shit.
Jeff, are you partaking in an adult beverage tonight?
Not tonight, no.
The kiddos.
Yeah.
Hey,
All right.
being a dad ain't easy, man. You're doing the good. You're a good man.
But you know what is easy? Is getting news from other websites and then telling everybody
My
about them.
ex-wife. All right, guys. Sorry.
I couldn't technical difficulties
We'll
while we
leave
had
her out of
the
this.
couldn't do the technical difficulties while the news stinger was happening. I'll start with my one piece of news,
Alright.
and then the newsroom is yours, Dave. Beetlejuice 2 full trailer is out, and it was pretty good. I watched it. I liked it. I want to see the movie, so it did its job. Have either of you seen it?
No.
I haven't seen the full trailer. I saw the previous trailer, like teaser trailer, and I'm in. I'm super in. I like Beetlejuice. Think they're going to pay it the proper respect. I think it's going to be good. I'm in.
It looks promising. It is Michael Keaton again, and he just looks like old Beetlejuice now instead of 80s Michael Keaton Beetlejuice. The only difference.
Just about everyone who was in the original and is still alive is in this one. So.
Well, except for that one guy who's a pedo.
I mean,
the red guy.
Everyone who's still alive and deserves to be still alive.
There you go.
I'm not saying kill a pedo. I'm saying kill a pedo. And that's not a spicy take.
I don't think it is.
99% of the world is like, yeah.
Dave, what news arst thou have?
I'm going to open with some Halloween Horror Night news, guys. Getting closer to the premium Scream opening event that Stella and I are going to. I'm getting so excited. We still have one house yet to be announced, but we got two house scare zone announcements. The first being Torture Fair, which promises to be like some medieval torture chambers and torturers, and they've done some stuff with like executioners and stuff before, so I think this will be really cool. And then He dropped it on me, and I had a boner for a day and a half. Zombie Swamp. Stella was instantly like, I don't know about that, which makes it that much better. She's always watched zombie movies, but zombie movies do something to her. They scare the fuck out of her. So she had a hard time watching them before. I was like, no, zombies are fun. And I'm really, really hoping I might overexcite myself. If there's a fucking zombie alligator cruising around, man, I'm gonna be that's gonna be
an
so
alligator at all, because that opening scene for Day of the Dead when it comes out of the bank or whatever, it's great. It's just chilling with the zombies.
It is.
Tim says Simpsons did it. We can't be holden to the Simpsons anymore. They've done everything now. They did Horror House before we did. That's where I think we got the idea
Even
from.
South Park. South Park is great and creative, and they had a whole episode that Simpsons did it first. So yeah, of course they did.
I mean, how many years have the Simpsons been on?
Number two announcement. I sent you guys. I don't know if you partook, but the Fangoria 2024 Chainsaw Awards voting is open. You have only until the end of July. So if you're listening to this in August, buy a DeLorean, go back in time, and vote.
Or come back next year.
Categories include...
Dave, why you gotta make it so complicated? You could just wait 11 months.
Go back in time and do it.
No, you're like, invent a time machine and vote in this one. I don't even know that I can, because I've not seen that many 2024 movies. Is it all 2024 stuff?
It goes back to 2023. Yeah, it goes back.
That don't help me a whole lot.
This time last year till this time this year. So it's not a calendar year. It's a whatever you would call it, consecutive
Aztec year. Leap year.
Yeah. So the categories are achievement in nonfiction. I'm sure Joe Bob Briggs is going to run away with that one. Maybe Sven Gulli. Best cinematography. The First Omen, watched it. I saw the TV Glow, have not watched that yet. In a Violent Nature, have not watched it, but I saw that kill. Infinity Pool, Mega, and Poor Things. Best costume design. First Omen, Immaculate, Late Night with the Devil, Lisa Frankenstein, and Poor Things.
Poor Things is a horror movie?
Effects. I guess I don't even know what it is, so I'm really a loser.
I thought it was some like old timey throwback period piece. I guess I don't know.
What's scarier than a period piece? Best creature feature: Evil Dead Rise, Five Nights at Freddy, Infested, Last Voyage of the Demeter, and Megan. Have watched all of those. Best director: Brandon Cronenberg for Infinity Pool, Lee Cronin, Evil Dead Rise, Danny and Michael Philippou, Talk to Me, Emian Rugna, When Evil Lurks, that thing was fucking bonkers, and Arkasha Stevenson, The First Omen. Best documentary: Dario Argento, Panico, The Legacy of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Satan Wants You, Sharksploitation, and We Kill for Love. Best first feature: The Angry Black Girl and Her Monster, Birth, Rebirth, It Lives Inside, Stop Motion, that's where my vote was, and Skinamarink. The fact that it's kind of bullshit that Skinamarink got nominated for anything, because that was honestly trash. Best international movie: The Coffee Table. Highly recommended. I have not watched it yet. I will be hopefully watching that soon.
Coffee Table?
Exuma, Infested. The Coffee Table. It's supposed to be pretty good. Kind of bonkers and very good. Exuma, Infested, Husera the Bone Woman. I heard that was really good. And When Evil Lurks. Like I said, When Evil Lurks was bonkers. Chris, I think you watched that. Jeff, did you watch When Evil Lurks?
No.
Am I putting words in your mouth, Chris? Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did watch it.
Oh my god. What did you think?
Too much hype.
Quick pick.
Quick pick?
Oh my god, I thought...
No, I mean, there's crazy stuff in it, but the story didn't take me to the end. I didn't like the... There's cool stuff in it, for sure, I thought, but I don't feel the need to ever really revisit
I
it.
might have benefited from. I watched it the first night it was on Shudder before I had any hype for it. Like I didn't know what I was getting into when I watched it. So that may have helped that there was no hype and it was good because there was a lot of hype as soon as people started watching that.
Yeah.
And best lead performance: Tobin Bell in Saw X, David Dastmalchian for Last Night with the Devil, Caitlin Dever, No One Will Save You, which I think that was pretty good. Nell Tiger Bree, The First Omen, Catherine Newton, Lisa Frankenstein, Lupita Nyong'o, A Quiet Place Day One, Emma Stone, Poor Things, Lily Sullivan, Evil Dead Rise, Sydney Sweeney, Immaculate, and Sophie Wilde, Talk to Me. I mean,
No.
the only movie that I have watched that I don't think even deserves a nomination, and I'm on the record, I think Skinamarink Rink was trash. But everything else is like, we're living in a golden age of horror, boys. We should appreciate it.
I don't know that I agree.
Okay,
There's certainly a lot coming out. I'll give you that.
You have to wade through some shit, but there's a lot of original shit out there too. If you just open your eyes, like Talk to Me, Late Night with the Devil, Barbarian, Hereditary. I mean, those are all modern movies. That is this era.
I'll agree to one of them at least.
Long Legs, we watched Saturday. Bonkers and weird, and I like it, so I definitely recommend Long Legs because it is bonkers, and vibey and disturbing, and it's got one of those scenes and maybe two of those scenes. Maybe one is just like a moment that jump scared everybody in the goddamn theater. But and my last bit of news. Horror Hound Weekend has expanded their roster. So the last time I think we reported on Horror Hound, there were like 6 or 7 people committed. I think we pretty much guessed Robert Englund was going to be there. That is correct. Robert Englund is going to be there. Heather Langenkamp is going to be there. Amanda Wise is going to be there. Ronnie Blakely is going to be there.
We got to win.
So Nightmare on Elm Street is very well represented. Mitch Pileggi is going to be there. Tom Atkins is going to be there. So ladies, take your birth control before you go. Skeet Ulrich is going to be there.
But don't take too much.
But yeah, I mean he's like the birth control, the taking it down from the. So it is probably more to come. The one that I saw just a little bit ago, and I made mention of her or him earlier, and I said I wish me and Jeff met him and talked to him for I don't know a while. He was so gracious to just sit and talk to us, and afterwards I regretted not getting my picture with him and his autograph. Tony Ciceri, he is a stunt guy. He does fire stunts. He did the fire stunts for Nightmare on Elm Street, the original Scream, The Thing, Ghostbusters, Terminator, Shocker, Child's Play, House. And like I said, the dude was so gracious to just sit and talk and tell stories and bullshit. His daughters are going to be there. They were 2 of the jump rope girls, although one's jumping rope and one's holding the kickball in the original Nightmare on Elm Street, and they told their story, and they were super nice, and like it's such a good vibe. This is such a good vibe, so I'm super excited to see all them again. The music is starting to be announced. So
Ari Lyman.
We have no, not yet. So I think that would be cool though. 2 members from Samhain, aka Danzig, Ari Vaughn and John Christ are going to be there. And then the one that really kind of got me, I saw him today. that they were going to be there, and I've been listening to them nonstop since on the Spotify's. Fuck you, Spotify.
Metallica. Come on.
Zombeast. So, they're not. Zombeast is no Metallica. I mean,
good name though. Good name
Metallica is no Metallica anymore.
As long as James Hetfield's around.
I love me some Metallica, man, but they're just not. It's not the old Metallica. Like, what's the new one? Livewire.
Not the new one is 72 seasons, man. You gotta get on it.
Oh, okay. I'm falling behind here, but Zombeast is solid. Zombeast is solid metal. So it's not mumble metal. So I'm down.
Is there a genre of metal called mumble metal?
They should call it mumble metal. So, but that is all I have for news, gentlemen. I have to know. Okay, lineup, music. Having been there before, Jeff. 1 thumb up, 2 thumbs up. Where are we at?
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be a good time.
Oh, definitely.
I was very worried, like, are they gonna make me commit again?
I'm not drunk enough to commit right now. I've only had a beer. The Amanda Weiss and Mitch Pileggi is.
Are we committing to 1 day, 3 days?
Oh shit! I didn't think about any of that shit. Ugh.
All we have to do, Jeff, we'll meet at Mary Jane's house on Friday morning, early. And we start just getting Chris plastered. And when he wakes up as we're coming home Sunday night, we will let him know he had the time of his life.
You could do Weekend at Bernie's, but like Horror House edition.
Right.
Just dragging me around. You're gonna have to pay for all of my. Yeah, you got to pay for Amanda Weiss and Mitch Pileggi for me, and like anybody else I think's cool. I'll have a stack of Blu-rays for you to get signed for me.
Okay, Jeff, we get his picture with Skeet Ulrich 5 times.
Just help a little mask. Look.
We're done with the news. Jeez, man, you can make me get a picture.
I love it, man. I love it. My timing sucks.
Corbage or whatever's Cabbage. Steve Cabbage. What's his name? Danny Romantic. Danny Romantic sounds like an 80s heartthrob.
That does.
I'm going to start making music under that name. And this is going to be the only place I ever say it. Let's see if the government ever finds me.
It better be smooth jazz, man.
All right, here is your one warning, everybody. From here on out is spoilers for VHS 2012. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Come back.
Spoilers for a 12-year-old movie. As long as you're building a time machine to go back and vote, just go back to 2012, watch it when it first came out. So,
I don't know that I would time travel for just that, though. That seems... Oh, Tim says I saw the trailer for Cuckoo. That freaked me out. Oh shit, I don't remember which one that is.
Cuckoo is the one, it looks like the girl and her family moved to a hotel and she gets a job there, and is somebody stalking her to kill her, or is she imagining things? Like you kind of don't know where it's going. It looks really good. I think Cuckoo looks really good.
I don't know if I've seen the trailer for that. We'll have to check out.
It looks really good.
Can you guys try to type on your little laptops on the desk? I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
during
have no
the
laptop.
he's probably talking about the newsroom, the little laptops in front of our face.
Oh. Yes, we can actually. I don't know if you. I've got an AI generated thing that kind of allows us to do that, but not really. You have seen it? Dave, your flag's blowing, man. I have that same pennant, that same Crystal Lake pennant.
Yeah, Crystal Lake is my favorite sports team.
That was my wife's wrestling name back in the day.
Oh,
She was assigned it. She didn't really pick it, but then she accepted it. VHS. All right, you're in.
You got to play the cards you're dealt. You got to know when to hold them.
Know when to fold 'em. Jeff, next line. Know when to walk and burn. Know when to
Kenny
walk.
Rogers.
No. Jeff says no.
Know when to walk away.
I know of the song, I just don't know the song.
The chorus is really all you gotta internalize. Or that's all I did. Before we get into the talks, one time, here's the
Kenny
social medias.
Rogers was a singer, and he made some hell of a good chicken.
Since Tim's here, me and Tim were at a Kroger once, and he kept saying K. Rogers, and I'm like, is that a store next to this? What are you talking about? He's like, Kroger, dumbass, and I'm like, I understand. I used to work at a Kroger, and I had never heard that before, but
I want to get a
You got
job
me.
at a Kroger now, just so I can ask my manager every single day, when is Kenny Rogers coming in? And that one will make it for.
that
Does
would be.
Mr. Rogers ever come around?
Is he still alive? We'll just keep guessing.
don't know.
Nobody
Sure
look it up. Nobody tell us. Let's vote real quick. Dave, do you think he is? Yes or no?
I'm going to say yes, because I don't want to live in a world where he don't.
Fair. Jeff, what do you think? Yes or no? Kenny Rogers still alive?
No, dead.
I agree. I think he's gone. Because the last picture I saw was several years ago, and he had so much Botox-y kind of stuff going on, he didn't even look like Kenny Rogers. He looked like Kenny Rogers' Botoxed father that they dug up and Botoxed.
I think he finally had just the right amount of Botox, and now he poses as a congressman for Florida with the name Matt Gaetz.
Potentially. You mean the Joker?
Get that trending on Twitter, kids. Matt
Kenny
Gaetz
Rogers.
equals Kenny Rogers.
Yeah. Let's get to VHS.
Yes.
Okay, so my pick this week. So I'll give a quick summary. So we start with kind of like a Wish.com version of the Droogs from A Clockwork Orange, doing all these real juvenile kind of vandalism kind of things, plus with some SA sprinkled heavily on top. There's a lot of boobies and boodays in this movie that I forgot about. A lot of, like, I feel like the people that made this movie just were like, man, naked ladies are pretty cool. Can't wait to see one in real life. Let's make a movie and put that in it.
They do not, like, they're forced into the script. The titties are forced into the script. They don't come naturally, which still nice to look at.
My God, they are like shoehorned in severely. Does every? Okay, we'll get to that. But they do all this stuff. But the Droogs sprinkle in like the heavy scent of weed and some redneckishness to them, and then
An Axe body spray.
yes, they have to steal
Sorry,
a
this is
VHS tape. And that sets us up. They're like the bookends for the stories. essentially that we get to see. And now there's a bunch of sequels. I knew there was a bunch of sequels, but I didn't know that there were spin-offs to some of these. I had no idea. Siren is one that I had no idea about. Another one that I forgot the name of, didn't write it down. But I think we'll have to get to them.
Aliens?
Kids vs. Aliens, which was in part 2, I want to say. But we're not going to get too heavy into the sequels. I think I've only seen part 1 and a little bit of the third one, which I forget the name of.
The breeze.
Because I think I'm going to make us watch all of them.
Okay.
Because I know 2 is better than this one. Or I thought anyways. I thought. But let's talk about it. Ellis, thoughts, opinions, how you
I
speak your truths.
I think we're on the record for how much we love anthologies done well. And this really,
it certainly is
overall
an anthology.
Story, right. This is an anthology. And so the overstory is the premise. Now, contrary to what most anthology movies do, my understanding is that this was, here's the overarching story, and we'll have these different video clips that people can watch. And then they had people make those stories. And it sounds like they were very much like calling up people like, hey, you want to make you got a crazy idea for a short story we can put here, you know?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, but it's too crazy. Nope, it's good. Put it in. Or no, it's too dumb. Oh, put it in. So, very low budget, very guerrilla style.
Found footage. Didn't even mention found footage yet, which is surprising.
Oh yeah.
It's
yeah.
like, hold on. It's like, can I? Okay, focus in on me. Intern. Thank you. It's like, oh man, what's going on? And imagine boobs are over that way. Okay, now back to it. Oh no! Oh no! Not the oh no's. It would just be regular life too, but God, shaky shit. I usually don't really care that much about found footage stuff, but this one is just all over the place with their filming. I'm like, kind of exhausted by it. But it gave me some ideas for something better, so I'm gonna keep that in here for later and tell you after the show. How'd you guys feel about the found footage, the filming of it? Thoughts and opinions?
I agree with you. It's just, yeah, all over the place, and sometimes just like, it kind of throws you out.
Yeah.
And I felt like it was worse in the overstory.
Yeah.
The other stories were maybe not quite so bad. They had their moments.
Yeah.
The overstory was horrible. There were points where I wasn't sure what was going on. So.
Yeah. And it wasn't even like when action was happening. They'd just be walking like I know in that first story part, not the rednecky droogs, but the next one, pick up the spinoff. Like they're just going to a bar and it's all like and I'm like,
yeah.
Why? You're walking, dude. How are you walking? To make the camera so unsteady. Is it hanging from his neck?
The camera is in his glasses. So apparently he's having a seizure as he strolls down the sidewalk.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. Yeah. Which, I guess next up, let's talk about the people that are the characters in this movie, because I don't know that any of them are like people I care to see survive their stories. Most of them I'm like, oh, didn't lose nothing. Which kind of makes it also another different kind of exhausting to watch. So, you know, how do you feel about the characters overall?
It's nice if you at least. It's nice if you have at least one person you can say, I hope this person succeeds or lives.
Like maybe
I
a
did feel that
big
way.
asshole or two. Like that's a big trope back in the day, but I would have went for some of that. Jeff, what do you think?
I mean, the only one I felt sympathy for was, I think, the apartment one with the girl.
Yeah, I would agree.
That's still everybody else is like, it's too short. You couldn't really like, get to their character enough to care about them, other than her.
Yeah.
Because, the shit she
Which-
goes through.
Which is kind of weird, I think, because they all feel too long to me. I feel like this whole movie is too long. Each segment is too long. Maybe some of the in-betweens are okay, like the bookends for them when it goes back to the redneck droogs. But like they show just a lot of footage of stuff we don't need to see. And like you watch a movie like what's some anthology movies you guys do like? I like Body Bags was a great one from John Carpenter.
That's good.
Trick
Trick or Treat.
That's the crypt.
And all
Sure.
of these are like, you watch it
House of
and you're like,
Horrors.
man, if this was a full movie, this would be rad. Did you feel that for any of the segments in this? You're like, man, I'd take a whole movie of that. Because a lot of them, I'm like, I wish this was a little bit shorter. Which I don't think is what you
they
should
made
be
a-
feeling.
Right. They made a whole movie of Amateur Night, so Amateur Night became Siren.
Yeah.
And I can see that because there's enough there that you say, okay, if we take it a different direction, which I believe they did for Siren, it's the premise extended. It's not the story extended.
Right.
So I
Kinda
can
thank
see
God.
that, and I kind of liked some of the idea in Tuesday the 17th, the one with the glitch,
Yeah.
because I could see that expanded and made into something feature length and given
Right.
fleshed out a little bit more. So I could see that one. But Second Honeymoon, and I've got some thoughts there.
Tell us.
Nope. It's disappointment, man. That's how
Yeah.
I've been talking up Ty West.
Did he do that?
And he made what's probably the shittiest one of all of them. So
I didn't know that. I didn't look into it. Oh shit. You are a big Ty West fan.
Weird.
Dave, you're on trial. Defend.
Defend Ty West or defend
The segment
my
that Ty
take
West
on this?
did.
Hi,
Well,
man,
Well,
where
I
are you
fix your
going?
camera again.
Okay, thank you. There's no like thematically they're in the Wild West, then most of it's in the apartment, and then they're back in the car. When she's being accused of taking the money, and her old man's like, "Wouldn't be the first time you treated yourself."
Yeah.
I mean, you get the feeling that this relationship is rocky. You don't root for the relationship. They're both fucking shitty people, it seems like.
Yeah.
And then it's justified. Like, the dude's shitty. He's a fucking asshole. And then you made me be like, yeah, he was an asshole, but he deserved a knife to the throat because you clearly fucked him over at some point. Like, there's
Yeah. Tim
not
says
redeeming.
rarely in a horror movie have I felt, oh man, they should have lived if they did die in the movie. I'm sure I could give you debate for that, but my brain is not what it used to be. Amanda
Several
Weiss,
of the characters
Nightmare on
in
Elm Street.
Cloverfield,
There you go.
I really like.
Katy Perry was great in Cloverfield.
Katy Perry was great. There were several. There were
Katy
several
Perry.
good ones. So, how about Underwater? Like, most of the characters in Underwater are really.
Oh
like,
yeah.
I did. I would root for them. I generally wanted them to win, and more often
think-
than not, that gamble did not pay off. So
Yeah, and Underwater is a good kind of example, like, because you have this kind of cosmic horror thing that's unfolding, I don't think you quite realize it's cosmic horror yet. But it builds up to that, and then to have just complete. If you took the characters from VHS and put them in underwater, like you'd been like, "Take me, Cthulhu, take us all. This is dumb." From Hell? I don't know that I've ever watched From Hell, Tim. Drag Me to Hell was another one. I remember watching that, and at the end of it, I'm like, why is she going to hell for this? That was a weird ending.
And the second one's coming out. I'm super excited.
There's a sequel
really
to that?
Drag Me to Hell. That's a great thing. Yeah. So.
Oh.
But Ty West has let me know. So I really thought, overall, this is kind of an end summation. And I want to talk about the filmmakers more than the characters and the actors. I want to talk about the different filmmakers a little bit. But
okay.
Overall, when I first watched this and I first realized Ty West contributed. The first time I watched it, I did not realize that. I watched it. It was on. I mean, it didn't hold my attention enough to like glue me to it. But
right.
For the horror house, I wanted to stay alert to make sure I picked up on anything that might be redeeming or that might be interesting. And so really Ty West, and after the fact I had to go back and do a little research, figure out which segment he did. But if you told me, oh, like Ty West did a segment in VHS, it was his first ever attempt at movie making, I'd be like, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. But that's not true. Before he made VHS, he had already done The House of the Devil, which I really enjoy. Cabin Fever 2, which is not as good as the original, but is an entertaining movie.
He did the Cabin Fever remake? Cabin Fever?
No, not the remake. Cabin Fever 2, Spring Fever, the one where they
right.
bottle
Okay.
the water from the lake and they take it for the high school prom.
Yeah.
It's bonkers. But by the time VHS come out, he's been making films for 11 years. And this is what he turned in. And I understand there's some budget stuff, and like they probably told him like, oh, okay, you've got $1,000, make a movie with a camcorder. And if that's how it went, then I understand. But if they were just like, make something, keep within a budget and make something simple that's could have been found on a VHS tape, and this is the best he came up with, they can't all be winners, man. They can't all be winners. And Ty, love you, man, but this ain't it.
We have it. Jeff, rebuttal?
No.
I agree.
Jeff, defend it. Defend that segment.
I'm not defending that one. No.
So what would you guys say? Well, let's just do it this way. Would you say that is your least favorite segment?
Yes.
In the movie?
I think
I'm
so.
Trying to make sure that I am on board completely, 100%. I think I am. What would you guys say is your favorite segment? We'll work our way down the line. Dave? No, we'll work. Jeff, you go first.
I like the first one.
Amateur hour at the
Amateur night
Rocking
or the
Horse
story.
I guess it's amateur horror. The one
Where they take the
Lilith?
girl bar.
Yeah. Because just her turning in, to like a creature and stuff was pretty neat. How they did it.
Yeah, I thought her makeup was pretty cool. I thought it was overall pretty cool. So I don't disagree with you. I think that's my favorite.
He could have survived, and he was just like, "Yes, I like you too."
Yeah.
That would've been
All he had to do was let her suck his dick.
With her forehead.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. He could have been like, okay, her head split because I bashed it, and then been okay with it. But Amateur Night, by the way, was written by David Bruckner, who also worked on Signal, Southbound, Siren. So he went on to make the original.
Right, right.
The Ritual, which is great. If you have not watched The Ritual, go and watch The Ritual. That is a great movie. And Hellraiser 2022.
Oh, that's where I know his name from. Right, right.
Yes. Yeah. So he's capable of some good stuff, and I think he showed it, because clearly there's a low budget, some tight, we'll just say tight budgetary constraints here.
Right.
But this guy can make a movie.
Yeah. Learn by doing, folks.
I also thought the Overstory, Tape 56, with, okay, these guys are hooligans, they get hired to go in and retrieve something, and then it turns disaster for them. That could work as a full-length movie. That can easily work as a full-length movie. I don't think it works very well here, because they try to they're too clever. Like, he's watching the movie, and then the movie comes out, and the corpse is gone.
Yeah.
Why not get to see the corpse move? Why not get, like, pay off a little bit here?
I think that's...
that the corpse leaves and comes back and still plays dead didn't make sense. But the filmmakers for the Overstory, Adam Wingard and Simon Barrett. So Simon Barrett wrote You're Next, which is, I like that movie a whole lot. That is a really good home invasion story with a little bit of an M. Night Shyamalan twist. And then Adam Wingard, Blair Witch 2016, and also he was very involved with Godzilla, or wrote Godzilla vs. Kong and Godzilla vs. Kong: The New Empire. So the last two Godzilla vs. Kong movies he was in, or wrote and directed. So obviously these guys can make movies. I'm interested. I was on the record for saying I thought Tuesday the 17th would make a movie. What did you guys think of that one? That's the one where she takes him to the lake and the glitch.
The idea of it's cool. The whole segment.
Yeah.
I mean, there's cool ideas in it.
Yeah.
Cool stabbing effects. I really liked how like the eye was a little bit kind of goofy, but I mean, I would take it. I would take that in a movie. But the
intros look too fake.
Yeah, some of the actors in it were kind of blah, blah, but the effect was cool.
They should add like maggots and flies or something to it.
Yeah. Not bad. Not my favorite, but like not the worst one.
Right.
I would watch it. I would watch a
cool
movie.
Story if you flesh that out a little bit. How about the sick thing that happened to Emily when she was younger? Could they have made that a longer title?
They could have.
I don't remember any of these titles. I'm gonna have to just get caught up on the titles.
It's not like they tell you the title. I had to go to the VHS Wikipedia page to get the titles of the segments. You go to IMDb and it tells you the names of the segments, but the name of the segment doesn't mean shit compared to like What's Your Night? What the fuck is that, idiot? Like,
right.
Tuesday the 17th.
Oh, see?
Any of them could have been that.
I didn't even know that was the webcam one. If they'd have just named it the webcam one, because I don't know anybody's goddamn name in this movie. Just call it webcam. Oh my god, a breakthrough. That's so much easier. I mean, I liked. God. I like parts of this, the idea of it. I feel like so many of these, it's like, that's a cool idea, but this try at it quite ain't what I would have preferred for the story. But
and to give credit and to avoid completely shitting on anybody, except for Ty West segment, I will totally shit on it. But the other segments, it's like, can see where you had things going if you could flesh that out and had a little bit of a budget. You know, I think that could work. Um, and not even that Ty West movie couldn't have done that. Ty West segment couldn't have done that, but just becomes a standard like, murder movie at that time. Like,
Yeah.
it's a rocky relationship, and they're maybe being fucked with, and then the fucker is the wife's lesbian lover. That could be a standard Lifetime fucking movie.
Yeah, my wife watches
So,
those every week, and like the ID fucking shows, like Deadly Marriage.
big mistake, Chris. Big mistake, Chris. Okay, give me a one shot. Give me one shot. Intern, give me one shot. Fellas, women, cover your ears. You're not allowed to listen to this segment. Fellas, pro marriage tip: do not let your wife watch those murder fucking movies. She's gonna use it to kill your ass and get away with it. Because you complained about her meatloaf or some shit. Don't do it. I had them remove all those channels from our cable. Okay, ladies, you're welcome back. We were just talking about how wonderful you were. I didn't. It took me. I've watched this twice. Once before and once for this show, and still didn't recognize in the webcam one that was a fetus, like
Yeah.
some kind of alien human hybrid they pulled out of her back. Was I supposed to know those things were aliens? Because at first I thought they were supposed to be ghosts, and then even when they're revealed at the end, like, yeah, they talk funny, but they don't look alien-y to me.
There was just that's the mystery that left you wondering.
I guess I thought they were just stealing her fucking kidney or something.
I think it's like he literally cut her back open and then reached inside, which I was going to ask you, Dave, how plausible is that? I don't think you could just go in that easy. I don't know.
There was not very much blood, and two, if you watch it close, you can kind of see, I think they intended to see, like, oh, you can even see the back of her rib cage.
That he
There's
reaches
a lot
into.
of flesh and stuff in there.
Yeah, he reaches straight in at one point to pull the thing out.
Look how big your torso is. 2/3 of that are your lungs. Everything else is squeezed into that bottom third. So you got your liver, you got 2 kidneys, you've got your stomach, you've got upper and lower intestines. Like, there's a lot of shit in there. So the fact that they were using her to grow fucking mushrooms on her kidneys or fetuses or, you know, whatever they were, extra kidneys, I don't. Not plausible. Not plausible.
Living kidneys in the shape of human babies.
I know that it was so weird, but I couldn't even see what it was. It was not great.
I liked the effect, but I just couldn't accept quite the plausibility, the reality of it. But I like that. I think that was a cool effect. It just was like you had to really go in with a knowing that it's
disbelief.
Yeah, exactly. Tim says, have you ever heard a Lifetime movie? Wife is upset with husband that just has to work to provide for their family. She goes back home, falls in love with her high school crush that's a farmer, and leaves her husband. She's built a life for the past decade, and he's the bad guy. And then they kill him, and then acid is a big thing sometimes, or a well, shovels.
I assume they sacrifice him to save.
My favorite ones are when there's like a 30-year investigation that is just full of inept people, and then it's like, this could have been solved in 2 days. Yeah. If your redneck sheriff hadn't been leading the charge.
One of them is dead. The other one is in the nursing home, and a plucky newspaper reporter breaks the case just on a matchbook found at a garage sale. The last segment, 10/31/98. I do have a question before I go into this one. There's a series of 10/31 movies are they spin-offs from this segment? I've not watched any of them. So I legit don't know. But there's like 10/31, 10/31 2, 10/31. Like there's 5 or 6 of these
Yeah.
now. So I really don't know. That's an honest question.
I have no idea.
This segment is produced by Radio Silence, who you may know from Southbound, the Horror House reviewed movie Ready or Not, Scream 2022, the upcoming Scream movie, Abigail, and Chris, are you sitting down? You have your seatbelt on your chair. Radio Silence is also the movie production company that is tasked with producing the sequel, upcoming sequel, to Escape from New York. I'm sorry, Chris. I knew that would hurt you, but it's a band-aid I had to pull off.
Sing Arms of Angel. For pennies a day, you can keep studios from ruining great movies. Music has stopped. And with this money, we can shut studios down for good. By buying matches to set their bushes in front of the studios on fire. To send a sign. It's a message. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's a joke. That's clearly a joke. Jesus Christ. And if it's not a joke, Jeff told me to do it. He told me to say that, right, Jeff?
Yep. 100%.
Jeff, you're a bad influence.
Damn, you really leaned into it, Jeff. All right. All right. Any
Just
final thoughts on this before we rate this and get on down?
This is the only of the VHS movies. I take it back. There's another one that I started watching where they like go into a tunnel or a cave or a sewer or a subway, and there's a punk band, and I started watching that one.
Yeah.
I've never finished it, but that's the only other one. Is that like?
I don't remember if that's viral.
95. Oh, maybe. But those are the only two I have watched. So
I started watching that one and didn't finish.
The same.
Maybe it is 94.
Motivated to go back, but I did go ahead and buy a bundle, so I bought VHS 1 and 2 and 3. So I have the first 3 purchased. So I'm game for this series. Overall, I don't think it's bad.
Yeah.
I would prefer that. I mean, like, look at the names of filmmakers that they got for this. That's pretty cool. I think it'd be maybe not as good, but maybe cooler to really hit some promising up-and-comers and let them spread their wings with a short and a little bit of budget. I mean, come on. Like, come on, man.
But also, I mean, the not having a budget should kind of guide them in their stories. And, you know, a lot of these cut down on certain things. Edit some fucking shit out of your script. Rewrite is always the thing.
Sometimes less is more.
Yeah.
And for the people who own the rights to this anthology, and you know, they're coming out with one, and there's another one coming out in October this year.
Yep.
So probably too soon for that one to get in on, but on the next one, hit up the old Horror House. Hit up your old boys on the Horror House, and we can Chris, can we put your 9,000 episode Blob TV series, can we make a short film to kind of like a promo?
Of my mega series?
Your mega series. Just a little teaser. Just a little
teaser. Yes. Teaser. Of my 12-second episode mega series? What would that be, like 1 second? It's done. It's over. Did you see it?
Okay, so Chris is going to produce a 1-second segment.
That would be hilarious though if somebody did that and then like just like sped it up so much that it's like a second or two, and then people have to like download it and slow it down to get anything out of it. I'm sure it's probably been done, but it's a great idea. It's kind of a shitty idea, but it's great.
Segment. My segment is a Nightbreed segment called Tribes, in which the Nightbreed is only one tribe. They're the tribe of the moon. And we know in the Nightbreed movie that there are the tribes of man. What my movie will do is introduce other tribes, and see where this conflict goes. So there's 2 segments. Jeff, you got a segment to throw in for VHS here?
No.
Yeah, come on.
He's saving it. He's saving it for his own shit. He's like, not this.
Okay, here's segment number 3. I'll give you this one, Jeff. Nicolas Cage. That's it. That's all I'm going to tell you. But it'll have Nicolas Cage. I'm sure he works cheap. He's Gonzo. So.
I know how to summon Nicolas Cage if we need him. I'll crack this Fun Dip open. That should be enough to get him in a movie that we make. I'll save this right here.
If that doesn't work, I'll get some to-go Texas Roadhouse. I'm pretty sure Nicolas Cage has never turned down a role. Got it.
What was that? What was that movie? Willy's Wonderland, where he didn't speak at all in the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Does he not talk at all?
Not really.
I have watched it from start to half like 5 times.
They talk to him, he just kind of grunts and.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I think that tracks.
Yeah.
He's great in Long Legs, guys. He is great in Long Legs. A spoiler-free review. You want to here at the end? You want a spoiler-free review of Long Legs? Micah Monroe is great. Her character is so awkward. She's not in real life. Truly a display of her acting ability. But Longlegs is a part police procedural, part uncovering a satanic cult, part what the fuck is Nicolas Cage doing? It is bonkers. It is wild. For the people that saying, oh, it's the scariest thing I've seen in a decade, that's kind of bullshit. It does have a creepy vibe. It doesn't go full Baskin. Baskin's got a vibe throughout. But they do it. The filmmaker, and I don't even know who the filmmaker is for Longlegs. They do a great job of creep and tension throughout, and there are 2 scenes that really will make you jump out of your skin. One you see coming from a mile away, and still when it happens, it'll fuck you up. It leaves you with this open type ending. Like, it's not totally anything could be happening, but it's a lot of unresolved issues at the end. It's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. I definitely recommend people seeing Longlegs. I did not get to see Maxine. We were going to try to make that yesterday, and we got out of work so late that we did not. So, plus I was really looking forward to coming home and making steaks on the Blackstone, and with my new torch. So I cooked them on the Blackstone, and then to really get a char on the outside of the steak, I got a small handheld propane flamethrower.
Sweet.
And put a good char on the outside of them. Amazing. But anyway,
All right. Well, let's rate this so Dave can go make sticks for all of us. All of the rabble. Right, Dave? Everybody? Everybody gets one.
all of the rabble, come on down.
This one was my pick, so I will go last this week. So, Dave, we're going to start over there with you. Give us your final thoughts and rate this match.
I really do think that there was potential here, but I mean, and I have a soft spot for low budgets. I just think that this could have been more and also less. It could have been cut a little bit. Also, they could have paid off a little bit more. I can't believe I'm saying this. Maybe take some boobies out and focus on more horror and gore. But at the end of the day, it's okay. The segments are okay. Because they are short, even though maybe some of them could have been a little bit shorter. But because of that, like, in some cases, an anthology is served by that. Like, you're constantly changing topics so you stay engaged. You don't have those downtimes. It felt like in this, it just felt disjointed, and it made it harder to stay focused and stay engaged with the movies, I thought. So,
Right.
overall, I don't think it's bad. But I think I'm going to go with a 5.
5. Dave's. Intriguing. Jeff. Now, it is up to you to save Dave's 5? Maybe?
Double down.
Well, I mean, it's not bad for a first attempt, kind of a movie. There's a lot of good stuff in it, but yeah, overall, it's just like you say, it just kind of feels too long in parts. I never thought I'd hear Dave say put less boobies in there, but
I agree.
Now, in my defense, I said, and replace it with horror and gore.
right.
Don't just take them out for no reason.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I would definitely watch the other ones. It's just the cam shakes so much, and they're all over the place, and it kind of throws you out. Kind of get disconnected from it. And so it's just like, kind of hard to stay into it. But I would rate it a 3.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah.
Brother. A 5 and a 3. It ain't looking good for VHS 2012.
Chris
And
is
Tim's-
going to be a 10. Come on, Chris.
Well, I don't know. I've already been pretty critical on it. Tim says Dave rates high, and that is true again. That stands. Checks out. So everything you guys said, I agree with. There's annoying characters. There's stories that are. The whole thing is too long. The entire shit is too long for what it is. And so, I think that when you do an anthology movie, each segment you should be like, I want to see a whole movie of this. And then you get to the next segment, show me a whole movie of this. And in this, I'm like, go off, get me out of here. I don't want any more. I'm full. Take the meal back. There was a hair in it. And like I said, some of the actors
You
are.
weren't as much.
I don't know that there were any real bad actors. For like a low budget horror movie, I feel like most of them are pretty okay. But like the way they were written or directed, I don't know. Most of them are just assholes, and you're like, oh, they died. Anyways.
Moving on.
Yeah.
When it comes down to first entries in a low budget found footage kind of a thing, I would rather watch Big Ben or Bad Ben, sorry, again than this. Even though I think I've watched this like maybe 2.5, 3 times now since it came out. I like the sequel a lot more than this, but I don't know about the later sequels. I have not watched them. 4.5. So
Okay, so that's going to give us an average of about 4.1. My maths. So
I'm leaving that to you. That sounds perfect to me.
Oh, that's an average score of about 4.1. I lost the notebook because the dog spilled a Monster coffee on it and it had to be trashed. I'll have to. I can't just easily flip back to what my records are, but that's probably our lowest score of the season.
I'm pretty sure that is your singular lowest score in a hot minute. And sure I think Jeff too. Jeff, have you?
Yeah. I don't think I have.
But this isn't my lowest. Huh. Well. Anyways. What can you do? I do intend to watch more of the series. Hopefully we can get through more of it. I would like to see the spinoff for Amateur Hour at the Ding Dong Cafe or whatever it's called. What's it called? Slice? Sirens. Splice is the other.
Is different.
Yeah, it looks similar design for their person.
Yep.
So we should brought that up. I didn't even think about that. Who copied who? But anyways.
And Splice always remind. And there's another one called Tail. I think it's Tail, but there's a silent H in there. That have a genetic cat lady that's kind of sexy.
I'm not familiar with that one. And then the Species movies, we've never got to those. I'm sure there's boobs in those, Dave.
Oh, yeah.
There are. Yes.
And how many sequels? That'll be what?
I think there are 4 sequels to that.
Oh, that's not what I thought you said. Let's shut her down. Let's shut the front doors on the horror house for another week, because I thought you just said, and I think there's pussy in it too, and I'm like, I mean, okay, there may be.
See, I get pregnant somehow.
I don't know how the Species movies work, but I think that's the what she's after. But we will be back next week. Jeff, it is your pick. Would you like to tell everybody what they should do their homework on before next Thursday?
Joe Hill's horns.
With the new Wolverine himself, Hugh Jackman's junior replacement, who will be a better Wolverine. What do they call that? Manifesting. I'm trying to make Daniel Radcliffe the next Wolverine. I'm trying. So watch that.
I can see that Harry Potter's a pretty decent actor, and I thought I think this is gonna be good. I think he could do a good job.
Dave, final words.
Who do I need to write an angry letter to?
For what?
Your senator, congressman.
Or to get Harry Potter cast as Wolverine.
Oh, Bob Iger? Is he that guy? I'm not that guy, pal.
1-0 or 2-0?
You're not that guy. I'm that guy.
All right. All right.
Why can't I moderate from OBS properly? Marvel at DisneyMovies.com is what Tim says, and that sounds about pretty right. Dave, get on that. Since Dave didn't want final words, Jeff, final words.
Watch Guns Akimbo. That was a good movie.
I love Akimbo Slice. Was he the guy that
He's my
fought on
favorite when he's
YouTube?
beating up homeless people.
All right, we're
Kimbo
out.
Slice was at his best during bum fights.
I thought he fought regular dudes. Did he do that? Anyways, watch Horns. We'll be back in a week. If we're not shut down. I mean, you never know. Bulldozers exist. We're a house of horror. Things happen. Tornadoes. Inclement weather. Snow. Ghouls.
Hail.
Horns.
MILFs. Jeff is like, you never know, the show could be delayed due to MILFs.
Got a big storm of MILFs coming in. A cold front of MILFs. Goodbye. We're done. Don't let the MILFs get shit.
Make those cookies.